Right. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Uh-oh. We're having a little tech issues, but that's okay. We're going to make it work. I am going to check. I just want to make sure we're streaming correctly, you guys. Let me see. All right. If y'all can hear me and see me, give me a hey, give me a thumbs up so that I know you all can hear and see me. All right. Let me see. I'm double checking just to make sure we're all good for going live. All right. All right, got it. I can see it's freezing a little bit. That's okay. We're going to work it out. I'm going to talk a little slower. And the LinkedIn will have the recording, YouTube will have the recording, and I'll make sure that I'll have like some content, like text content of this as well. This is such an important topic today. We're going to be talking about how to stand out in a competitive job market. There's an echo. Oh my goodness. Let me see. I'm like, I have some headphones, but it's like a little bit of an echo there too. Thank you for telling me, Fatima. Thank you. Let me see. All right, I'm going to try to turn my mic on and off and see what happens. All right. Is this a little better? I kind of turned my mic on and off. Sometimes that helps a little bit. Fatima, let me know if you all can still hear an echo. I'm in a different location than I usually am. So let me know if there's a little bit of an echo. If it is, what I'll do, I have a couple of tips for you guys, but I may just do this again later on in the week, or I may make it like a Zoom. All right. So let me know how are we sounding. All right. Let me know. I see a comment. Okay. Yeah. So are we good? Getty says, love this. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm looking at it on my phone too. So if you all see me looking down, I'm like, gotta look at it on my phone. It's better. Okay, great. All right. Thank you guys. We're going to get started. I want you all to, as I'm going through, I have some notes, but I want you all to put in the comments how you are feeling or what you're experiencing in this current job market. Things I've heard is that people feel like they're frustrated, they're struggling, it's a tough market, it's worse than ever before. Get it out. Let's just talk about it, right? What do you see? What are you feeling going on in the job market right now? Do you feel like, forget competitive, it's just crazy? Like, what are we feeling? Again, the main comments I've been getting from my clients is that they're feeling very frustrated, and they're also feeling like they're just struggling. Like they're like what we're saying, like 2 years ago, they could just apply to a couple of jobs, get a call back, get the interview, get the offer. Where now people are like, I'm legitimately getting jobs, getting like applying for hundreds of jobs and getting hundreds of rejections, right? So let's talk about that. Any specific questions you have, I want to get to that as well. But I have some notes, and I want to share like some non-traditional advice for you all. If you're feeling like, Latrice, this job market is crazy and I'm struggling and I have a lot of negative thoughts and it's starting to impact your mindset and your mentality, sometimes the best thing you can do is take a mini break. A mini break. If you find yourself every single day, you're getting up and you are applying for these jobs, and immediately you're getting rejections, and it is in fact, and it is impacting your spirit. It's okay to take a mini break. You're not stopping completely. And if you're like, I can't stop, I got to do this. if your emotions are not there, if you're feeling burnt out, and you can be burnt out by searching for jobs, take a mini break. During that mini break, you're going to rest and recuperate. You're going to come back stronger than ever. I'm going to give you some strategies for when you come back stronger than ever. But I wanted to start there. All right. Well, let me go back and introduce myself. Hey, everyone. Thank you all for joining. I'm Latrice Health, career and leadership coach to ambitious women of color, and I help you increase your salary or your revenue by improving your personal brand. It's simple as that. And one of the things that I really specialize in with my clients is improving their personal brand and their mindset. So I'm going to be giving you all a lot of tips and advice on how to, I don't want to say handle, how to improve your mindset, especially during a difficult time right now, okay? Especially when we're looking for jobs, all right? Let me check the comments. Better now. Okay, good. So my pre-tip is kind of, if you're starting to feel like things are getting to your spirit, take a mini break. And a mini break can be defined as like 1 or 2 days, 3 days, the weekend, just enough to recuperate. And when you take that mini break, you're not going to feel guilty about it. You're not going to shame yourself. You're not going to be like, I'm missing out on all the good jobs because I took a mini break. You're going to get rest. You're going to remember who you are. Look through some positive review evaluations or reviews that you have done. Think about previous projects that you've worked on. Like, take a minute and do that part. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling stressed out, if it's starting to get to your mindset and the negative thoughts are coming in, you want to do that first. Next, and this is what most people, I don't see people doing this. I want you to use your intuition and natural gifts when you're thinking about strategies. Let me tell you why. A lot of times people get online, well-meaning people will tell you, apply to 100 jobs a day, reach out to every person, email, a blind email all these people, copy and paste, tell you all these things that, one, are not aligned with your spirit, two, take a lot of energy and stress for you, and three, simply don't work. They simply don't work. In a competitive job market, you need to use your competitive advantage. If you're terrible at writing emails, why would you send out 100 emails? It just a strategy is not going to work if you don't work it, and you won't work it if it doesn't align with you and who you are. So if you've ever been told a strategy, or you've seen something like 10 things you can do to get 10 interviews, and you're like, no, I can't do this, or you have tried. If you've tried and you are struggling and you're then putting yourself in the spiral of guilt and shame because you didn't do these things, take a minute and you have to think about what comes naturally to you. What are your natural gifts? I'm a natural verbal communicator. That's why I show up live. Do you know how many people are scared to death to public speak or show up live? I'm like, then don't do that. Don't do that. And I know it sounds counterintuitive, but essentially what I'm saying is, instead of doing strategies that don't work for you and you can't work it, do what comes naturally to you. In a competitive job market, you have to use your competitive advantage. That's the secret nobody's telling you, because they want you to do these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps that they're saying is the only thing that works. And it's not true. In a competitive job market, and you want to stand out, you have to use your competitive advantage. And if you don't know what that is, I have a whole system. And if you don't know what that is, I will help you really quickly. But I want to make sure that you all understand what I'm saying about this. How many of y'all have read articles, looked online, and they're giving you all these things to do, and you're like, I've tried all of those and none of them worked? It's because it didn't align with you. I had a client. By the time she came to me, I think she'd been unemployed for like 16 or 17 months. She had worked with another coach, someone who was not aligned with her, did not look like her, did not understand her experiences. A great coach in his own right, but could not understand where she was coming from. And so the advice, the strategies, and techniques that he gave her simply didn't work. And she had been trying for months to work these months. And she was like, I'm not doing it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I was like, you've tried it this way. I said, can you try it my way? And she was like, Latrice, what's your way? And I was like, honestly, we're going to come up with the three things that align with you the most. And what we did was I said, what has worked for you in the past? What is it that naturally calls to you that you want to do? And what is easy for you that you can do in your sleep? Meaning for her, she was like, she's always gotten jobs in the past by applying and referrals. She said, you know what works for me? Instead of randomly messaging people that she did not know, which was the advice that she got, she was like, it worked better for her to research a company, see if she knew anyone that works there or any type of connection there, and then reach out to the person she knew. And so we started doing that. I said, let's just try it for 2 weeks. We did it for 2 weeks. She said, Latrice, I have a 90% like return rate, right? Like 90% of the people that she messaged wound up messaging her back. She got several interviews, and when it was all said and done, she got a $300,000 job offer. $300,000. 300,000 by doing things her way, by listening to her natural gifts, by using her competitive advantage in a competitive job market. I wanted to give you all this example so you know how to use it. So you know how to use it. I'm not saying don't research and don't look things up. I'm saying if you think about reaching out, blunt cold calling 100 jobs, asking to speak to the boss, and you're like, this sounds crazy, don't do it. I had another client, we took her through this exact process, and she was like, oh, for me, she loved networking online. She was like, not so much in person, but networking online. She wound up getting interviews via Threads. I don't even know what that is. I had never even, let me know if y'all know what Threads is. I think it's like on Instagram or something, but I didn't even know what it was. But she was able to use her competitive advantage of being able to connect and find community online and turn that into job interviews. And turn that in. This is how you need to move in a competitive job market. And this is what nobody else is going to be telling you. And trust me, I see the advice. You got a cold call, have a hit list of 100 companies and reach out to them and find what. If that works for you, fine. What I'm saying though, if it doesn't, you're fine too, because you're going to use your natural gifts and your competitive advantage. Okay. Number two, you need to be building your personal brand right now. Whether you are looking for a job now, tomorrow, next week, next month. If you think, hey, Latrice, my company is stable, I'm not even looking for a job, you need to be building your personal brand. Going back to your competitive advantage, what way do you like to show up? And if this was I'll tell you what, if this was last year, I was all about building your personal brand internally, meaning inside your companies and all about getting promotions. Now I'm like, you need to be building your personal brand internally and externally. It's not enough to have a profile on LinkedIn and connect with a few people. You should be engaging. You should be making thoughtful content. You should be looking at creating content yourself. It doesn't have to be every day. It doesn't even have to be every week. But if you come across an article, if you have an idea, if you won an award, if you did a speaking engagement, you should be announcing and promoting and sharing your brand online. Now, today, today, people. Even simply commenting. When you all comment in my section, people who watch the lives and the replay, they're gonna see your name. Especially like I see Fatima, and she's got her credentials behind her name, which is yes, always do that. Who else? Let me know if I'm saying it right. Is it Gayeti Robinson? Let me know if I say that right. Each time when you make a comment, people who are connected to you will see that. People who are connected to me will see that. So you want to be doing things like that, building your own brand, making sure you have your credentials behind your name, making sure you're joining valid groups, professional groups, and then commenting and engaging. Choosing a platform to build your own brand. Y'all know I love LinkedIn, but you can also build your brand on Instagram, Facebook, Threads. I'm saying like Threads is like the new Threads. X if you like, if that's your thing, right? But you can now build your brand outside of your company. That's what you need to do. It's no more, your resume is not your brand anymore. Your LinkedIn is not your only source. And the biggest mistake I see people make with LinkedIn is that they just do the profile, leave it up, and like, oh, I'm done. I had someone do my profile, or I did my LinkedIn profile. It's good. I'm done now, and we'll wash our hands, and we're good. And and if I'm being honest, 2 years ago, you could do that. 2 years ago, you could put up a keyword rich LinkedIn profile, have it optimized, and wake up a few days later and you've got interviews in your inbox. And literally, I was doing this for some of my clients and having it happen. Now in 2025, it's not enough. You do need to engage. You do need to be building that profile. They do want to see some content on there. You do need to be reaching out. These are the strategic things you need to do in a competitive job market. Gone are the days when people are like, I just used to apply. Great. That is good for you. Those days are gone right now, but it's okay. It's still other ways where you can get interviews and offers in a competitive job market. But the topic of today is, how do you stand out? We don't want to be in a sea of 100 other resumes, right? We want to stand out and have our resume at the top of the pile and have us contacted for the interviews and offers. So it's about standing out. Okay. One of the other things, you're going to use your competitive advantage in a competitive job market. You're going to be building your personal brand now on a specific platform. And then here's the other thing that I'm seeing. You're going to need to have many more touch points with your ideal role. Okay. So what I mean by that is, back in the day, people be like, all right, I applied, and we just wait. And if they decline you, you like, all right, damn, I got declined, and you move on. No, many more touch points means, okay, I'm looking at this company. I'm going to apply, but I may even see, do I know anybody in that company? If yes, you reach out to them. If no, and you don't know anyone, I'd be like, okay, who can I get to know at this company? Again, many more touch points. I recommend that my clients reach out to 3 to 5 people at the companies they really, really like, or you really, really want to apply to. You're going to reach out to that company. You're going to connect with the hiring manager. You're going to connect with HR or the recruiter. You're going to connect with someone who would be your coworker. These are many more touch points. All right. After every interaction with that company, if you get called and they ask you for a pre-screen, you have that pre-screen with that recruiter, and you're going to send a thank you letter. Really brief, really quick, but restating your brand, your accomplishments, and the problem you solve for that company. Really quickly, you can do this in 4 lines. Again, that's a touch point. Hiring manager, thank you email, touch point. Many more touch points. I had a recent client, she got an interview in June from a role that she applied to, I want to say in February, and she reached out to them. Many more touch points. Because here's the thing, a lot of companies now, they're doing more with less. So they don't have the infrastructure, they don't have the people. Even some of these larger companies, they don't have the people to keep up the engagement, to look up through all the interviews. And between AI and the applicant tracking systems, they may miss people. You could meet all the qualifications, but when you apply, you still get declined. It's not because you're not a great candidate or not valid. It could simply be an error with the computer system. And y'all, and if you see me speak before, you know I've talked about this several times, where I've had clients who were actually declined from the applicant tracking system and wind up getting the exact same role, exact same manager and everything, because they followed up, because they used these steps. So you got to do many more touch points than normal. Okay, this is how you're going to stand out. Do you know most people, you guys, don't even send thank you letters? Let me know if you send thank you letters after an email. Just like give me a thumbs up, or put like a 1 in the comments if you send thank you letters. And when I say letters, you all know I mean emails, not actually a letter. But yes, but think about, how can you stand out? All right, many more touch points. So just let me know. Also, we're going to be doing a workshop at the end of the month on the 31st. And it's going to be all about landing a leadership job and transitioning beyond 40, right? So if you're beyond 40 and you're looking to get in a leadership role or just transition into a better role, we're doing a free workshop on Thursday, I want to say it's either July 30th or July 31st. Put pivot in the comments. Hey, Fatima, I see. Hey, is it Ningam? Let me know. I see you're watching on YouTube. Put pivot in the comments, and we'll get you that link so you all can get access to that free workshop on Thursday at the end of the month. Okay, and I'm going to be going into much more detail. It is going to be a private workshop, so you are going to be a Zoom. It's not going to be shown live to everybody on LinkedIn. I noticed people ask much more deeper and personal questions when we're behind the Zoom wall and it's just us versus the live. So you're going to get a chance to do that. At the end, we're also going to have time for Q&A and for you to get a little bit of sample coaching from me. So it's going to be really great. So go ahead and put pivot in the comments and I'll send you that link, okay? Oh, all right. Let me see. Is this Dr. Let me know how to pronounce your name. Dr. Longino? Let me know. Did I pronounce that right? I see it on my phone. It's not coming up on my comments, but I'm going to get that out to you all. All right, Fatima says one. Yeah, she's coming up as LinkedIn user, but I can see it on my phone. All right, so we're going to go to my next one. Is just coming off of that one, I want you all to think about what can you try that is unique and different. I keep telling you all about what was going on in 2023 and 2024. And y'all know 2022, the job market was 2022. You could be like, I'm looking for a job, and you would get like like 100 people in your email box. Those days are gone. It was like 2022 was like a lightning in a bottle situation. 2024, people were like, things are different. 2025 hit, and even in my clients, and we keep up with current trends. We see what's going on. We track things. 2025 hit, and it was very unique in January. I will say usually I see most of my clients hired in January and February, and it was like almost 0 to none. Now, May, June, July, I think things have stabled out. People understand a little bit what's going on with this new administration. We know who are targets and who are not targets, right? So it seems to be selling out where people have a better understanding and idea of what's going on. But I want you all to think about how you can be creative. Seriously, I want you to think about what can you do that is unique and different and still allow you to stand out. Okay, good. She says correct. Thank you. I am a stickler for names, you guys. My name is Latrice, but I have gotten Letitia, Latricia, Lucretia. I get called so many things. So I try my best to pronounce people's name correctly. So thank you for that. But yes, you guys, I want you all to think about, oh, it shows that I'm frozen a little bit, but I want you all to think about how can you show up in a creative way? So I had one client, she had got a job offer and then it got rescinded. And I've had this happen to me personally before. And that is like the worst feeling. So she did that and it was like a crash and she felt terrible. And I was like, hey, let's get your mindset back. Let's think about all these positive things that you have going on. And then we go back to what is your natural gifts? How do you prefer to show up? How do you want to represent your brand? She took all those things and she was like, you know what? I'm going to post on LinkedIn. She's a magnificent writer. Like me, I don't think I'm a great writer. So I go live instead of typing things up. Or I'll do a graphic or something like that, right? But for her, she was a magnificent writer. And she was like, anytime I write something down, it can manifest, it can happen. So she wrote down what she wanted, how much she wanted, the type of work she wanted to do, her type of coworker she wanted. And she was like, you know what? I'm going to do a LinkedIn post. And she did this beautiful LinkedIn post with like graphics and emojis, beautifully written. clearly explaining her brand, the problem that she solved, what she had to offer, what she was looking for in her next role. She even put the salary, her ideal salary range, and it attracted so much attention. It kind of went like mini viral in a great way. And she got all these opportunities in her inbox. And she wound up getting a job with a company that she had worked for in the past. And now she's coming back and and it was like a higher level role. It was exactly what she wanted. And that was her using these tips and then doing something different and creative. This was not and I'm not knocking these people, but this was not the post of everything's terrible, the job market is crap. I applied to 100 jobs and got all these things, and now I can't pay my bills. Nothing wrong with those, but I have rarely seen those um, manifest into roles. Okay. She used all the tips that I just gave you all, and then she got creative and used what comes naturally to her. And it was the easiest, simplest thing. They reached out to her. They was like, wow, we have this role. We think it would be great for you. It was something different that she had done before. They was like, it's in your salary range. We've already worked with you. We love you. They were like, hey, come in for like an informal interview. And she got the offer. I want to say it was like a 2-week turnaround, very quick. So when you want to stand out in a competitive job market, you have to do something unique and different. If you find yourself getting into the mindset of, well, I've always had to do that, like I only had to interview, or I only just had to ask a couple friends and then jobs got to me. And you're like, it's not like that now. Correct. So that means you need to do something different. It doesn't mean you don't build on what's working. It means you're still going to do something different. All right. Let me know if you all understand what I'm saying. If you're like, all right, no, we gotta do we gonna be trying something different out here. We're gonna be trying something different. Let me know. And then here's my final tip. I want you to make the ask. When I say make the ask, what is it that you want? Do you want a mentor? Do you want advice? Do you want to know, like, is this company hiring? Do you want to know what is the salary range? Make the ask. And in the ask, you should be telling about what you have to offer too. Like, hey, just wanted to know if your company is hiring for a strategic HR business partner. I am someone, I have global experience. I specialize in helping companies automate and digitize their processes and utilizing AI and project management, right? You want to tell about yourself. But I see so many times we don't make the ask. And I used to have this program called Create Your Own Opportunities. I still may bring it back. It was amazing. And it was all about getting to what you want and then creating that, right? And you create it by asking people, by knowing what it was. And then you asking people like, hey, this is what I have to offer. Do you have this available? Can you mentor me? Can you coach me? Can I speak at your organization? When you combine these tools together, you're going to see how amazing it is to stand out in a competitive job market. And I wanted to share some examples of how my clients used all these tips together. Recently, I had a client, she got a speaking engagement. And what she started doing was she thought about what is her unique gifts. She's like me. She's a great public speaker, right? She's like not nervous to speak in public. Before she just did it internally. She had never really spoken outside of her company or it was always representing her company. She looked at, okay, what is my personal brand? How can she represent herself and her brand in her career, right? And then she went into, okay, how can I do something different? What's this different thing about me? She was like, I'm going to start speaking publicly. That's how she's going to build her brand and stand out in a competitive job market. And what she was really doing was positioning herself as an expert in her field. I see we've got doctors on here. We got people with MBAs on here. We got people with SHRM certifications on here. You all should be positioning yourself as an expert in your field. Okay, so that was her brand. That was her positioning herself as an expert. She's like, I'm going to be doing speaking engagements. That's the thing that came natural to her. And it was something unique and different. And that's what she did. She made the ask with vendors, people she worked with. She asked colleagues, different associations were like, hey, do you all need a speaker? And I think she started off speaking for free. She started off speaking for free, and then she eventually started charging for it. But what that did was it allowed her to stand out in a competitive job market. It allowed her to have another income source. It allowed her to build her brand. And most of all, it allowed jobs to easily come to her. I want to say she wound up getting like 2 or 3 job offers just from her public, like starting this kind of public speaking venture. That became part of her job search strategy. How she was going to stand out in a competitive job market was public speaking, and she was amazing at it. I want to share this really quickly. I have other clients who have written books. I have another client who started a podcast and started interviewing different people in her industry on her podcast. I have another client. She started a LinkedIn weekly series, and every week she was releasing like a little video. Video was easier than text. I think she does text now, but she released a video every week, and she started getting career opportunities that way. So I wanted to share what this looks like when you put all the tips together. All right. If you are like Latrice, I am loving this. Keep going. Be sure to come to that workshop. Okay. Put Pivot in the comments. We'll get you the link to the free workshop. If you're like Latrice, I love to work with you now, or you have specific questions you don't want to share, DM me ready, and then I'll send you the link to book a call with me. We can do a 15-minute virtual coffee, see where you are in your career, and see how I can help you go farther. But I hope you all take these and use one strategy as we kind of end out today, right? I want you to think about it. Out of all the tips and strategies, I gave you all some examples. I share with you all what clients are doing. And this is what is happening right now in 2025. Let me know from this live, what's one thing you're going to take away? Was it tip 1, 2, 3, 4? I think I gave 5, right? What's the one tip you're going to take away? What's your major takeaway? If you all are watching the replay, because I get a ton of replay people, hashtag replay in the comments, and you still let me know. I'm going to be responding to your comments, but I want to hear what are you going to take away, right? What's the biggest tip? Was it like, hey, using my natural gifts and having that, using your competitive advantage? Was it that you're going to build your personal brand? Were you like, hey, I didn't know I should be like engaging and creating content on LinkedIn? Like, was it like, hey, I didn't know if I get declined, I can still get the offer? What's your biggest takeaway? Right? When you show up and you all come and you all listen to me and you do these lives, I want you all to actually utilize the tips that I'm sharing with you all. And I love hearing your feedback too. So I want you all to share with me what are you going to take away? And then any questions or comments you have, feel free to put in the comment section. All right. I am so excited. As we are heading out, enjoy your week. If there are any other topics you all want me to speak on, just message me or put them in the comment section. I do this for you all, and I love helping you guys. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful day. Bye.